and strengthen our economy. I see we've been joined by our colleague from Colorado, Congressman Polis. If you would wish to enter into this dialogue, I know you have been an avid supporter of a strong environment. You come from a community that cares deeply about this, and we would welcome your thoughts and observations if you would care to join us.
You know, as we here in Congress and as a new member going through the budget process and looking at a lot of these issues for the first time, I'm really struck by the fact that as we discuss numbers on the cost side, we're not accounting for the cost of not taking action, which in many cases, particularly with regard to reducing our carbon emissions, are far greater than a lot of the costs that we're looking at with regard to the actions we need to take. So a more comprehensive and an integral approach to kind of how we look at costs is absolutely critical here. You mentioned as well the Clean Air and Clean Water Act. There are ways, economic ways, to put a value, beyond the moral value of preserving our rivers and preserving our trees, and there's a very legitimate moral value, whether you derive that from a faith-based position or another position. There are actual economic costs of our value of our natural heritage and our natural assets. When minerals or oil and gas are extracted, they're extracted once, they're gone. We are losing a national asset. It's not a renewable energy source. And these are not looked at in terms of the coming for the financial calculations with regard to the programs that we're proposing. So, you know, I think it would be some benefit in trying to apply more integral accounting and economic modeling and budgetary techniques to looking at the real cost of doing nothing and, in fact, the real savings from taking action. When you take an action to preserve our rivers and streams and our forests, for instance, you might look at the direct economic cost of that to businesses, but you also have to look at the natural capital that is preserved, that is a true form of capital wealth for our great country that deserves every bit as much consideration as the direct dollars and cents associated with implementation of these policies.
I very much appreciate your observations. We've been joined by my colleague from